Hi, welcome to another session with Paint with Ray. Today I thought we'd do just a simple little landscape. I'm just using a few colours. Just let's see what we sort of end up with. To show you really how this method really works, and there's nothing to be frightened of. It's a lovely way to paint. Okay, so the first thing we do is I've covered the canvas with a very thin coat of white paint, and it's just to make the canvas wet, because it's a wet into wet technique. So the first thing then I will do is go into a bit of Indian yellow, just a little bit, not a lot, and I will go here. Doing a landscape, I'm not quite sure what it'll look like, but we'll see as we go. Spread it out, little bit more, come down here. This bit will have water, and I think we'll have a mountain or two and sky and clouds, but with this bit will be water, so we can put some of the yellow in the water, because what's above the ground is also in the ground. So just a little bit, just a hint, and then I'll go into a bit of the yellow ochre. Again, not a lot, but just put it round the edges of that. Put a bit in, bring it out. I'm not trying to make it look pretty yet, I'm just trying to get the colours on where I want them, and then we'll go back and try and get some sort of painting going. So there we are, we know it's going to be a landscape. So, and then from then on I'll have a little bit of red, or crimson I should say, crimson, just around there. Maybe I'll put some in the water as well. How much of the water we'll use, I don't know, we might not use any, but at least it's there if we need it. I've got a bit here. Really all that's for is to act as a barrier between these reds and these yellows, and then the blue at the top. I've not cleaned my brush, I'm going to go, I might just wipe it out a little bit, go into the blue. Bit of blue in the top of the sky, X strokes, all these are all X strokes, crisscross strokes. And a bit in the bottom, the water, but these strokes I'm going to bring from the side across. It will paint. As I get towards, say, the horizons here somewhere, I will lift off the pressure so you won't have as much colour there as you have here, down here. I'm just going to put it on for now, and then we'll sort it out in a bit, as I say. Just trying to put some colours where we want them. I'm not going all the way across, because I want some sort of a sheen to be in the water there, and that should happen automatically. But you need to put your colours in to start with. Many a time you start painting, you've an idea what you're going to paint, and this has happened to me times, and you don't end up painting that. A lot of my landscape paintings end up as flowers, because I'm just not happy with them, and so I change them. Now, with a clean 2-inch brush, I'm just going to blend in the middle here, just in the yellows. I'm not going to go anywhere else yet, just in the yellows. And I think we will have a bit of white, so I'm going to use another clean brush, bit of white, just in the middle here, just a little bit, to show a bit of light. Then I'm going to blend it out, blend it, just get the sky exactly how you want it. I'm going to blend the red into this yellow here, just how you want it, it doesn't matter. This is your painting, and everyone's will be different. And that's what I like about this technique. Everyone's painting will be different. You'll be painting all the same thing, but everybody's will be different. And I think that's brilliant. I'm just going at a bit of an angle here, just to show a bit of a clouds. And I've not mixed it too much on the yellow, because I do not want it to go green. Nothing worse than green in the sky. In the water it doesn't look too bad, but in the sky. And you just blend it until you're happy with how it is. And it's not too bad. So I'll just give this brush a bit of a quick clean. And all I do is wipe it out. I'm not using any thinners or anything like that. Wipe it out a bit, then I go in the bottom and I'm just going straight over. All the way over. You see that little bit sheen has gone. But it might still be there a bit at the end, we'll see. Just wipe that out. Wipe the thick bit out before it dries on. Now with the filbert brush, you can use a 1-inch brush, but today I'll use the filbert. I'm going to go into some white paint, plenty of white paint. You can use the fan brush, any brush you want. I'm just pushing some white into this. Don't worry about it, just this top edge is all I'm bothered about really. You can make whatever shapes you want. Tap it on. Just tap it on. Don't move it about too much yet. We'll get back to that. Don't know, we might just put a little one here. Wherever. Entirely up to you. Now, that's very rough, so we need to blend them out. So I'll use this 2-inch brush. It's got a bit of yellow on, so I won't use it to blend them out. I'll use the cleaner brush, or a bit clean. And I'm just going to use the corner of the brush, and we're going to just tap those corners out. Just blend it into the rest of the sky. And it goes away, look. I'm leaving that top edge. That's what I want. So I'm leaving that. I'll go into this one and tap it away again. But I don't, a bit of yellow there. I think it'll be all right. But you just have to watch. You're picking paint up from here and going into there, and you could take yellow as I've just done. That looks quite nice, but it could make it look a lot greener. If I went in and worked it again, it probably would. There we are. We're just tapping it out. And then again on this one, I'll just clean the brush a bit, just wipe it out a bit, look. And I'll just do this one, just tap this one out. Leave the top alone, unless you're not happy with the top. Holding the brush right at your hand, right at the end of the brush. Makes it a bit freer, you can create shapes. You see, your brush and your knife, it's just a tool to put the paint up there, and then you can use it, coming back and use it with a brush and do whatever you want. Make it look however you want. Now there, I'll just clean my brush again. I'm just going to lift up now, using the back of the brush, very lightly, going up, clean it out again, and then blend it into the painting. And that is your sky. It's only a very quick painting, but it's just to show how easy they are to do. I'm going to put a bit of a mountain in, I think, so I want some of this colour here, this dark colour that I've made, blue, red, black. I might put a bit more blue in it, because this mountain I want to recede, so I'll have a bit of blue in it, a bit more blue. Alright, so I'm just marking it. Now this is going to be in the distance, so I just want the top edge there. I'm not bothered what's going on here, not at all. That is all I'm interested in. Nice shape. to the top edge of the mounting. And again on this side exactly the same. Just not bothered about what's going on here. And all I do is grabbing that paint, press it into the canvas, a bit more paint, press it into the canvas, and then
looks like Chris is having the operation. Oh.
Then we shall just put a mounting in front of this. But I'm going to, after I'm scraped in, I'm going to scrape it all out as much as I can get without touching that top edge. I don't want to come down here too far, but I do want to get it scraped out. I'll leave that, I'll clean my knife a little bit. Now you can either use a 2-inch brush or the 1-inch brush. I'll use a 2-inch brush for this, but you can use any. Just catch it and pull it down, press it into the canvas as hard as you can, and bring it off. And then again on this side, just bring it down and put it off. So that is one canvas pretty much done, or one mounting I should say. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into the bottom of this, and what that does, it makes some mist. And I just want a bit, and that just separates the two from each other and gives you another plane in your painting, and that's what you're after. The more planes you have, the better. Gives you more distance and depth. Right, I'm going to put another mounting in front of it. So I've made this colour a bit darker now. So I'm going to start about here. Right, I'm going to start about there and come across. Now again, I'm only interested in this top line. That's all I'm interested in. Nothing else at all. Just this top line. I'll put a few more mountings here. Bring it over. Not mountains really, they're hills, you know, but bring it over and here. Got that top line there. Now I just want to make it a bit, come over a bit. I don't want to point here. You know, I can have a bit of a thing like that, but not a point. It doesn't look right. Squash it into the canvas. Squash it in. Bring it down. Again, I'm going to bring that paint, pull that paint across. So it's touch, press and pull. Squeeze that paint across. So I've left a gap here, which is the mist, which will give you another plane in the painting when we've finished. So this method of painting is, I've made a mess there, is so easy to use. Oils I know, but they're so easy to use. People are very often frightened of oils, and there's, I mean, I know it's easy to say, but there's no need. They are so easy. Now, you see, I've made a mess here, made a mess there. You needn't get worried about it. We'll just go into this darker colour again, and I'll alter the shape of the hill. You can do that. Alright, and I'll just squeeze that out. And I may even put something else over this side, just so it's just a bit different. Here, probably about there. The thing I like about this painting is, this way of painting is, very often you've decided you want to paint a landscape or a flower or whatever, but until you actually get on the canvas, you don't know really what you're painting. Now I want to paint a landscape today, so I'm making every effort that it comes out in a landscape. But sometimes when I'm painting on my own for myself, anything can happen. You know, it can turn out to be anything. So now again with this, we'll just tap the bottom out, and I'm really giving it some force. You can probably hear the brush on the canvas, how much pressure I'm putting on. And again this way, tap them the way that the mountain has grown, otherwise it just looks as someone's come along and sawn your mountains off, which won't look right. So again now from this side, I'm going to lift up and I'm going to come across, blend these strokes, lift it up. But I'm not going all the way up, I'm stopping myself. I'm going all the way up and just going a little bit on the mountain just to take out the tap marks. That's not too bad. And I think what we'll do here, we'll a clean dry brush and just get rid of those marks there. They just blend into the yellow. That's nice. But I also want it to look a bit tapped as well, so that will do. Now I'm going to put some snow on these mountains. I'm not going to put so much over here because they're further away, but here I will put more on. But again, well, you will see I'm going to use my knife, but you can use your brush, your knife, anything. It's just a question of getting the snow up there. But I've got a nice bit of white there. I'm going to put it down there, put a little tiny bit of this blue in it to paint the sky with. Just get a sort of not an off-white blue, and this is going to be the colour of the snow. So I'm going to go on there, I'm going to follow it round. Again, you don't want a lot because it's far away. I don't want a lot. Just a little bit. I've only got a little roll of paint on my knife, and I'm just touching it and letting it'll come off. And you know, if you're not happy with it, you just go back. But you can't keep going backwards and forwards too many times, otherwise it will look a bit of a mess. A bit more blue into that and a bit more white. Trying to make a bit of a shadow colour now. A bit more white. I want it to look different to what I've got up there. And so I'm going to use the small edge of the knife, and I'm just going to go down here. Look. And this just